Determine proportional relationships. Tables. The following table shows the time it took to sell tickets to the Tarrytown Christmas show. Is the relationship between the number of tickets sold and the number of hours proportional? Justify your answer. So to determine if they are proportional, all the ratios must be equivalent. So in order to determine that, let's find the unit rate of each entry in the table. So we'll start with the very first one right here. We're going to find the tickets sold per hour. So to do that with the first entry, we're going to take 240 tickets and divide it by 3. That gives us 80 tickets. That means that there are 80 tickets sold per hour. Now let's look at the next one. We have 400 tickets sold every 5 hours. So let's divide 400 and 5. 400 divided by 5 is 80. That also means 80 tickets sold per hour. And lastly, we'll take 700 tickets in 9 hours. 720 divided by 9 equals 80. That also means 80 tickets sold per hour. So we can say yes, the relationship is proportional. And we have to justify, so we can say because all ratios are equivalent. Is the relationship between the number of slices of salami in a sandwich and the number of calories proportional? Justify your answer. So again, proportional means that the ratios are equivalent. And that has to be all of them. The table shows slices of salami and the number of calories. So let's take the unit rate of each one. We're going to find the calories per slice of salami. So the very first entry already gives us a unit rate. We have 66 calories per slice. Let's look at the next one. We're going to take our calories and divide it by the slices of salami. So 96 divided by 2. That gives us 48 calories per slice. We already know that this relationship is not proportional because all it takes is one entry to not be equivalent for this to not be a proportional relationship. So let's say no, the relationship is not proportional. And it asks us to justify. So we're going to say because the ratios are not equivalent. Use the following table. Do X and Y have a proportional relationship? Justify your answer. So let's find the unit rate again. We'll take Y over X. So for the very first one, we have 5 divided by 2. That gives us 2.5. So we know the unit rate for this first one is 2.5. Let's take the next entry. 7.5 divided by 3. That also gives us 2.5. That's the unit rate for the second one. We're looking good so far. Let's take a look at the third entry. 12.5 divided by 5. That also gives us 2.5. So it's looking proportional because all of the unit rates are the same. Now let's take the last one, 18 divided by 8. That gives us 2.25. That's a different unit rate. So right here alone makes it not proportional. So let's write no. The relationship is not proportional. And it asks us to justify, so we can say because the ratios are not equivalent. A wholesale club sells eggs by the dozen. Does the table show a proportional relationship between the number of dozens of eggs and the cost? Justify your answer. So again, proportional, we're looking for equivalent ratios. The table has the dozens of eggs on the left and the cost on the right. So let's find the unit rate of cost per dozen. So for the first entry, we're going to take 21 divided by 6. That equals 3.5. So right here that says it's $3.50 per dozen. And I'm going to label that right here that this is our cost per dozen. Let's look at the next entry. $28 divided by 8 dozen. That gives us 3.5, so $3.50 per dozen. We look good so far. Let's take the third entry. $35 divided by 10 dozen. That also gives us 3.5. So $3.50 per dozen. And now let's look at the last one. $49 divided by 14 dozen. That gives us 3.5 as well. That's $3.50 per dozen. So since they are all equivalent, let's write yes. The relationship is proportional. It asks us to justify, so we have to say because the ratios are all equivalent. And that's it.